If you've worked in a kitchen or even cooked at home, you know how difficult it can be to get a proper knife. The handles can be flimsy or the blades dull, but one local company is hand forging knives in their Northeast Portland factory to make quality instruments. With us now on Hello Rose City is Eytan Zias, Bladesmith and co-founder of STEELPORT Knife Company. Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for bringing your materials with you. I say instruments because for chefs, they really are.
It is, yeah, probably the most important tool that you can have in your kitchen.
And you kind of came up in the cooking industry, is that right?
Yep, my interest in knives is strictly knives as they relate to food. I consider myself even more of a food guy than a knife guy.
Okay.
There's a big distinction there. But yeah, I've been working with knives professionally in one way or another for 25 years now.
Yeah.
10 years of cooking, then sharpening, selling, making.
And so how did you come up with this company?
I've been, in addition to being a sharpener, I've been forging knives for about 10 years, and I always wanted to go full time.
Okay.
Knife making, and then I met my business partner, Ron Kormai, who's a engineering professor at PSU here, and also the co-founder of Finex Cast Iron.
Okay.
So we got together and we just started wondering, why isn't there a real American forged kitchen knife?
Yeah, and we saw a little bit of the process in the video, but you brought like the different stages of the knife. So can you talk in detail about the process?
Absolutely, yeah. So we are trying to reintroduce American forged knives.
Okay.
It's something that we used to do here, but just went away.
Yeah.
We're really good at making, pocket knives and hunting knives, but not a real kitchen knife. So one of our main distinctions is we are the only company in the U.S. that's actually forging knives.
Wow.
In carbon steel. So we start off with 52100 carbon steel, which is a ball bearing steel.
Okay.
And we start off with this diameter so we can forge it out into this and have it all be just one solid piece.
Right.
So there's no pins or welding or anything.
That handle is not going to break off when you are slicing your tomato or something.
Yeah, this is the classic and best way to produce a knife.
Got it.
And then after that, one of our big differences too is we have a differential heat treatment.
Okay.
So these are all things that you don't see in mass-produced knives because this has to be done one at a time. So the big companies just won't do it.
Right.
So what we do here is we get our blade hot down here and we harden it to 65 Rockwell, which is extremely hard for a kitchen knife, and then we leave the back soft.
Okay.
And that just makes for an overall more durable blade. And you can see on the finished product the two different tones. So you see the hard steel and the soft steel, and you don't have any issues with bending or breaking.
Okay.
In that way.
How long does it take to make one knife to go from that end to the finished product?
So it's about, we have to be efficient, so we make them in batches, and it's about 90 days start to finish.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
so we have 6 knives here in the process,
Yeah.
but there's about, I think, 134 steps
Oh my
to making the knife. Yeah. It's a very intricate thing. This is just kind of the basic examples of the major steps here.
Got it, of course. Yeah, we can't go over each 134 steps. But talk about the products that you have.
Yeah, so we launched a year ago. We started in the
Okay.
beginning of 2020, and then
Another pandemic business. My goodness. All right, everyone's pivoting in the pandemic.
That's the thing to do, apparently.
Yeah.
After about a year of R&D, we launched last year in March with our flagship product, which is our Eytan chef knife, and that's the most important knife that you can have in your kitchen. It's what you're going to probably do everything with. And then we pretty recently expanded to what we consider to be the most important knives. If you're going to have a 5-piece set, these are all the knives that you need to have. You can do everything with these. So we have our bread knife, which is probably my favorite knife because you just never see bread knives with this type of craftsmanship in them. People don't respect the bread knife. And we were in the New York Times yesterday.
I saw that.
Yeah,
yes.
so we were. Yeah, that was a big deal for us.
About the bread knife specifically.
About the bread knife.
Very
cool. That was in the Wednesday food section, which has been on my bucket list for for 15 years. Yeah, so we have the 10-inch bread knife. We have our 10-inch slicer too, for barbecue guys, portioning steaks, stuff like that. Big fish. The 8-inch chef knife, the 6-inch chef knife, if you just don't like a full-size knife or you have a smaller cutting board and kitchen space. And then we have our paring knife, which is on the large side for a paring knife. So it's almost like a paring petty it's tall enough to do some board work and in the hand work.
Very cool. I'm scared to touch them because I know they're going to be super sharp. But where can people find out more information if they're interested in purchasing?
So we are here locally,
Yeah.
so you can come in. We have open hours Monday through Friday, 1 to 6 at the factory. We're at 3602 Northeast Sandy Boulevard.
I know. I think that's so cool. Is your factory open for tours?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So you can come in if you just want to learn more about knives, if you want to buy something, if you just want to pick our brain about
That's so cool.
stuff. And then we're also sold nationally. So we're at Sur La Table nationally, and then we're at about 25 independent specialty knife stores around the country.
Wonderful. Well, look at that. New York Times and Hello Rose City in 1 week. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, looking for plans this weekend? Check out the STEELPORT factory. But we also have some other ideas for you. We'll be right back.